Okay, welcome to my video on replacing the battery on a Nissan 370Z. This should be good for any year from 2009 through 2018. To start off, you'll need a few tools. You'll need a standard screwdriver, a 10mm wrench, and I'm using this clamp here to hold back the battery cables. I suppose if you don't know how to pop the hood on your car, you probably shouldn't be replacing the battery, but the release is right down here underneath where the key is held. Just pull back and it pops the hood. Reach under the middle of the hood and pop it up. You'll find the battery compartment over on the passenger side near the firewall. Pull back these two tabs, lift off the lid, and you have access to the battery compartment. You'll notice there's not a lot of room to move the battery. In fact, the battery is behind this cowling, so it can't be removed without actually removing the cowling itself. Alright, at this point you have to remove two pieces of the cowling, one in the front, one back by the windshield. To remove the front piece, you're going to remove 4 pins, 3 in the back, 1 up front. The pins are removed by popping the sort of center out with a standard screwdriver, and then you can lift the pin out. So remove the 3 across the back. There's number 2 in the middle, number 3 on the far side, and then remove the front pin. Basically, this is what they look like. There's a small pin in the middle that lifts up, and then it allows the whole pin to be removed. Now remove the first piece, slide it out from underneath this bar right here. That's piece 1. Piece 2 has 2 pins that need to be popped, 1 on each side, 1 over by the fender, and 1 on the other side. You'll also need to remove the rubber gasket that goes across the front. You'll only need to remove the first 4 or 5 pins, and you can just fold this piece out of the way once you get the first 4 or 5 pins removed and pop out the second piece of the cowling. At this point, you'll need to remove the battery terminals. There's a little red cover that usually folds back. Mine was a little brittle, so it broke off. No big deal. Loosen the terminal clamps and remove the cables from the battery. I'm using this clamp to hold the positive cable away from the battery for easier removal. Remove the 2 nuts for the bracket holding the battery down. And now you can slide the battery out. Now you can drop the new battery in place. Once you've got it in place, reinstall the bracket. Make sure that this bracket is well centered on the battery, and then tighten down the nuts to hold the battery down in place. You can reconnect the battery terminals. And tighten the battery terminals with the 10mm wrench. You just put the cowling pieces back in place, just like you took them off. Snap the piece in by the windshield. Make sure it's snapped in nice and tight. Put the 2 pins back in, press the center. Snap the rubber gasket back into place. And now you can install the first piece. Make sure to slide it back underneath that bar. It should line right up with the holes. And the pins go in just like they came out. You press them in the holes, press the center pin down, and they lock into place. Put the battery cover back on, press it down, and you're done. Congratulations, you've just replaced the battery on your 370Z. I hope you found this video to be useful.